If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, this is the Red Carpet Ring featuring TBK, the Turnbuckle King. We are here back again at the ring. We got a good one to talk about today. We will talk about the top ranked Undertaker streak matches. We are talking about the legendary, that's still talked about to this day, the Undertaker streak. And the Undertaker streak, as we all know, was undefeated for 21 years until it was finally captured by Brock Lesnar. Now, since then, before the streak was broken, we did also have great many legendary matches out of The Undertaker. And it was matches with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, Batista, Kane, Randy Orton. He had one with Mark Henry one year. Then he had some bad ones with John Gonzalez, King Kong Bundy, Jimmy Snuka. But he still has some great legendary matches for the most part, you know. And then we also talk about matches that really do get into the streak. He had one against Edge, and of course in 2008. And then, of course, he had the whole 4 year with, like I said, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And then this last match before it was broken with CM Punk in 2013. But he had great legendary matches that still get talked about to this day, like I said before. And it was like the pinnacle of the streak. The streak was bigger than a world championship or the WWE championship. Let's get the likes of while we come in. We're here live from Facebook, X, and YouTube as well. We're going to talk about the streak, the legendary streak that we know from The Undertaker. Now, The Undertaker, now a retired wrestler. He's still, when you hear his name, you can't help but to not mention the streak. And the streak is the biggest, the longest undefeated streak in years. Now, we think of undefeated streaks in wrestling, we think about the Undertaker streak at the top of the list. Now, I know you have the Goldberg streak, you have the Oscar streak. When it comes to undefeated streaks that are legendary, the best of all time, we are talking about the Undertaker streak. And that's the number one streak of all time. There is no other that's like the Undertaker streak. Now, with that being said, since he has so much history with the streak, I decided to have ourselves a little list of the top ranked Undertaker streak matches. You know, no specific order, but this just has to be talked about enough, and it's still a legendary thing in wrestling today. So let's go over the list, guys. Let's talk about the streak. Let's talk about the matches, and let's talk about the story behind these matches as well. So let's get into it, guys. It's time to go over the streak, and it's time to go over the matches. Let's go over and let's see who made the cut of out of 10. Now, this is ranked out of 10, top 10 Undertaker streak matches. You guys get the likes up, and let's enjoy this list, shall we? Let's do it. Who's not familiar with the wrestling industry, who the Undertaker is, I'll explain the streak, what it is, and we'll get right into it. So, the Undertaker, he was born Mark William Calloway, born March 24th, 1965, better known as the ring name The Undertaker. He is an American retired professional wrestler, widely regarded as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. I definitely agree on that. One of my favorite. Calloway has spent the vast majority of his career wrestling for the WWF/E and is best known for his critically acclaimed Dead Man Undertaker gimmick, for which he was inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame in 2022. So let's go over his career accomplishments. This is the Undertaker, the Phenom, 7-time world champion, 7-time tag team champion, 1-time hardcore champion, the winner of 2007 Royal Rumble winner, and his overall WrestleMania record is 25-2. And as was stated earlier, he was inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame of last year. He was inducted by Vince McMahon. Now, his streak before it was broken, and we'll get to that later. It was 21-0. He went 21 years, 21 straight matches of the undefeated streak before it was broken in 2014. Like I said, I'll explain to that later. Also, what is the streak? Let's see. The streak was a series of 21 victories for professional wrestler The Undertaker at the WWE's premium annual event, WrestleMania. It began at WrestleMania 7 in 1991 when he beat Jimmy Snuka with the final coming from CM Punk in WrestleMania 29, 2013. The Undertaker was absent for WrestleMania 10 in 1994 and also in WrestleMania 2000, owing up to injury. So those were the only 2 WrestleManias he didn't perform because he was injured those years. Overall, he defeated 18 men during the streak, which includes 3 bouts with Triple H, 2 opposite Kane, and also Shawn Michaels, as well as a handicap match against A-Train and Big Show at WrestleMania 19. This run of victories was described by Sports News publication, The 42, as the greatest winning streak in sport, while Sky Sports likened it to that of the boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr., who is undefeated as well, for those you don't know. So, that is the streak for those you don't know. Now, The Undertaker's top 10, the streak matches. So we will go into number 10. So my number 10 pick for the streak is Undertaker versus Kane, WrestleMania 20. The streak extended to 12-0. Now, Kane is Undertaker's storyline brother. They had a previous bout at WrestleMania 14, which he defeated him, but he was the masked Kane. This is the unmasked Kane. So they had a great rivalry. This is Undertaker's actually first. This is the WrestleMania that he returned to the Dead Man gimmick, as he temporarily for a while was the biker gimmick, the big evil gimmick. He did those characters for maybe 3-4 years. And he finally he went back to his Undertaker gimmick. As you can see, his hair he started growing hair back. When he was a biker gimmick, Big Evil, he had cut it after a while. So in order to, finish up on the Dead Man persona, the Dead Man had long hair, so he started to grow it there. So that was in 2004 of the Dead Man of this particular one. So this was a decent story. Like I said, Billy had a good story, very good match. This was Kane's second chance at Undertaker. Kane was the first person Undertaker wrestled more than once at WrestleMania. And like I said, they have a long history because they're brothers. And, pretty much Undertaker went back to the dark side to battle Kane. Had a great match, though. So I'll put this at number 10. And as you guys know, when I do explain my pick, I'm going to have Mr. Goodbread join me. So salute to him coming out.
Salute, salute, and thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure, always an honor. Man, this was a good one right here because, like you said, with Kane being one of his greatest rivals, like Kane was one of those wrestlers that was able to really take it to Undertaker. So it's only fitting that you have this on the list, and it's only fitting that Kane was one of his repeat rivals at with this streak thing. I wouldn't have mind Kane being one of the people that took the streak from him. Being how they story being just how they story arise from that Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels is just it would have been Kane would have definitely been on my board for one of the people that can take the streak.
Yes, Kane could have been a very good contender to beat the streak. Like I said, a long history, like you mentioned. It started with Hell in a Cell in 1997. We went over that match for one of my top 10 Hell in a Cell matches when he debuted. Um, Kane could have got back at Undertaker, probably treated him when he was young, storyline wise. But I knew Kane wouldn't beat this streak because, as many know, Kane, the character, well, real life Kane, he didn't mind losing. He didn't play the politics. So I knew they wouldn't have him do it. I wouldn't mind if he beat it either, like you said, good Brad, but I do like Kane, storyline with Undertaker. I mean, they're very similar. I mean, they both execute Tombstone Power Driver like no other. Also choke slam, but it would make storyline sense if he did beat it. But I knew deep back in my mind it wouldn't happen. And you got to remember too, at this particular point, the streak wasn't a huge big deal until a year later, 2005, against Randy Orton. So I think that's why he didn't beat it because it wasn't a big thing yet. It was starting to become a thing. And it officially became a thing in 2005. So you got to keep that in mind too. We're going to move on to number 9. My number 9 pick for the Undertaker streak will be Undertaker versus CM Punk at WrestleMania 29. The streak extended to 21-0. Now, this was the last victory Undertaker had while he was undefeated. Then the following year, he was defeated, but this was a good one that he did. This is a great storyline because CM Punk had won the right to face Undertaker on Monday Night Raw. It was a four-way match. It was a four-way match, and he pinned Randy Orton to face Undertaker. And this was fresh off CM Punk losing the championship when he had 434-day title reign for the WWE Championship. So he at the around time in real life, Paul Bearer, Undertaker Kane storyline dad, he passed away in real life. And they had CM Punk mock his death, him and Paul Heyman. They've had Paul Heyman dressed up as Paul Bearer, and he was playing with the urn as that controls the Undertaker, for many people that know. All right, before we get on to number 9, let's see who came into the ring real quick. BT, what's going on? You said my favorite street match is 5-1. Orton number 5, 4, Triple H 3, Kane number 3, Kane 1, 2, HBK 1, Edge the greatest main event for a championship ever. So you got WrestleMania 24 for the world title. Okay. Taker vs. Edge at 24 is a top 5 match ever to me. Okay, I see. BT, you Edge. You love you some Edge, don't you, boy? Everything top rank with Edge, huh? You got Edge top rank all your lists. But I see, everybody's tied to their own opinion. You said Orton had the most dramatic finish. CM Punk, now that's who should have broke the heel. I agree. CM Punk should have broke the streak, not Brock Lesnar. You said Fake 4 TV said Fat Punk should have took the streak. Undertaker would have never put him over after they clashed over wearing suits. That's true. Well, let's get back to this list here. We got CM Punk versus Undertaker at my number 9. Let's get back to that.
But it was a good play. I would have to say this was a great match. It made me believe at one point that CM Punk could beat the streak. It was very believable at one point that he could beat the streak. So I thought he could beat it. CM Punk even mocked the old school in this match. He had a lot of good back and forth with the Undertaker. These guys were going at it. CM Punk and GTS very good on Undertaker. He was close to beating it, but I knew they wouldn't have CM Punk beat it. Like I mentioned, he previously had just had.
Let's get the likes up, guys. We only got 4 likes in here. We got 18 people watching all together. We got 13 people in here. Facebook X, put the likes up over there too. Let's get the likes up, guys. Let's get the likes up. I'm gonna give you guys good streak credibility of matches here. Retain to Undertaker streak. Let's get the likes up. Let's get it going, guys. Come on now. It's real simple and easy. Just click the thumbs up. Just as easy as some of the fans that go on OnlyFans or Fun Time for the female wrestlers. If you can hit like over there real quick, you can do the same over here. Come on now, let's get the likes up.
A long 434 title day run. I couldn't see him just doing that and also giving him the win over Undertaker in the streak. But he put on a great performance at this WrestleMania against Undertaker. This is actually one of my favorite Undertaker streak matches with CM Punk. They had a great match. Great match. And it was a great story. Now, after he lost against Undertaker, that was it. We already know the whole CM Punk deal from many else. He didn't stay too much longer in the company. He left a year later at the Royal Rumble 2014. But other than that, this match was really good. Very good. This was both men were definitely doing anything. So that's my number 9 pick. Moving on to Good Bread.
Yeah, it was rumors going around that CM Punk, Undertaker was going to let CM Punk take the streak because of what they were doing to CM Punk. Remember, CM Punk was supposed to be in the main event this year, but that if I'm not mistaken, this was one of the years where I think Cena and Rock went at it, second year in a row.
Yes, that was the same Rock and the same year Triple H faced Brock Lesnar. That same WrestleMania.
Right. So, I mean, Undertaker saw what was going on there, but Undertaker really wasn't responsible of calling that shot. He would have let it go down, but ultimately that was Vince's call, and they just wanted to have a good a headline match for CM Punk that did not include him in the main event. So it was like a throw him a bone without really throwing him a bone. So but I could have seen Undertaker letting him take the streak, and it was a very good match, a damn good match, matter of fact.
Yes, I agree. I think honestly that Undertaker wanted the streak broken years ago because he said with several opponents, "Hey, you can beat the streak," and the person he faced always said, "No, I respect you so much, Undertaker. I don't want to do it." Or Vince McMahon would intervene, be like, "Oh no, he's not breaking it." Undertaker wanted the streak broken a long time ago before it was broken, way before it happened. That's my opinion. But I do like that number 9 pick. Now we're gonna move on to number 8. My number 8 pick for the Undertaker streak match is Undertaker versus Batista, WrestleMania 23. And this is for the World Heavyweight Championship, which he did win, and the streak extends to 15-0. Now, this story is Undertaker. This is back in 2007. Undertaker was in the best peak physical shape of his career. I think he was 41, 42 at this point. This is when Undertaker won the Royal Rumble that year, the first ever Royal Rumble. And I'm going to get into that Royal Rumble later. I'm going to retract back to that Royal Rumble he won. But anyway, he won that Royal Rumble. Batista was a main event guy. He was a main event star. He was World Heavyweight Champion on SmackDown. And he was really starting to come into his own. And he challenged, I like how what he did. The next night on Raw, if you guys remember, it was John Cena, WWE Champion, Batista, World Heavyweight Champion, and Bobby Lashley, ECW Champion. Undertaker they were all three lined up in the ring, and Undertaker came to the ring, and he had to pick one of those three guys. And you thought he was going to pick Cena. He said a Batista, and then he walked over Batista. He did his signal. He chokeslammed him. But I know he comes for the world title, and it started a great rivalry. And I think him and Batista, they tore the house down WrestleMania 23. They had a great rivalry. That year, that Edge and Batista, Undertaker had great feuds with both those guys. Great feud. So they had a great rivalry, and they was going at it. So when they did have the rivalry, Batista, I like how he did the power slam over the announce table. He had a little power slam over the table, and Undertaker hit that tombstone. It was a wrap. But Batista held his own in this WrestleMania match. I know Batista, some of his matches he would kind of sit because he had a lot of nagging injuries as his career went on. But this is right before Batista started getting hurt a lot more. But this was a great match, and I like this match. And we're not gonna get to that. They even had a great last standing match at Backlash. But this was Undertaker's also noted his first ever World Heavyweight Championship. He had been WWE champion. He never won a World Heavyweight Championship before. There were rumors he was supposed to win it before, but I guess it didn't happen due to injury or bad time, whatever the case may be. But he finally was able to win the World Heavyweight Championship from Batista at WrestleMania 23. And they had not only great match, but a great rivalry for that year. Along with, he had one with Edges too as well. But this was a good match, and I like this. I never heard about Batista being close to beating it, but if he had beat it, I guess it would have been okay. But I know Batista didn't need this win. But it definitely put Batista up in the main event status higher than he already was when he had this match with Undertaker. So I'll go to you, Good Brad.
I mean, you pretty much broke everything down the right way. Undertaker and Batista had great chemistry in the ring for two big men. You know what I mean? They had great chemistry. So, again, I couldn't see Batista beating the streak, but again, they had great chemistry, which made for a great match. And the storyline wasn't bad either, because Undertaker was a badass and Batista was a badass. So, you know what I mean? That's always gonna make for great storytelling.
Yes, agreed. Definitely agreed. Good part you mentioned was the two big men, but yeah, they definitely held it down. That was the number
Yeet.
8. Yep, number 8 pick. So we'll go to number 7. So my number 7 pick will be Undertaker versus Triple H, WrestleMania 27, the no holds barred match. The streak extends to 19-0. Now, this one is a part of a 4-year storyline, and it started. This is the first, actually, technically, this was the second time Triple H faced Undertaker at WrestleMania, but this was the first time under the Dead Man gimmick. This was the year after he faced Shawn Michaels. Triple H, I like how this whole thing started. Triple H and Undertaker were both part-time at this point. And Triple H came out after being off for like, I think almost a year. This is when he first got to the executive role that he's doing now. He wasn't head creative, but he was like a senior uh, advisor. That's how he started. I remember he was senior advisor. He had a little office. And he came out saying, Triple H was like, I did everything in my career. I won championships. I've been in WrestleMania. I've done everything. I faced everybody, all my peers, legends, Hall of Famers. But I one thing I need to do in my career, to make my career complete, is to beat the streak. And I'm going to challenge the Undertaker, which was so iconic. When he did do that, Undertaker cut a promo saying he was coming back, and Triple H interrupted him. And I never saw this before. They came to the ring, they looked at each other, no words were said, none. And what happened at that point, they looked at the WrestleMania sign, didn't say a word, no words were said, he needs to be said. Undertaker did his over sign, and Triple H did the DX sign, saying we're gonna have a match at WrestleMania, and they just had a great no holds barred match. Triple H gave it to Undertaker, and at all the WrestleManias, I never see where Undertaker got dominated and owned in the match so much. And this was the match. I mean, Triple H did that great spot of the spine buster on the announce table, or should I say Spanish announce table. He had a great spot there. He even did, and as you see in this photo here, he did the tombstone with the tongue sticking out, and you probably thought he was close to beating Undertaker, but he kicked out. So Triple H gave him everything. He hit him hard. It was a lot of chair shots. To both men gave each other chair shots, chair shot, chair shot. Triple H gave him pedigree after pedigree. He did tombstone, spine buster on the announce table. But Undertaker made Triple H tap out to the Hell's Gate after Triple H had the sledgehammer in his hand. But in this WrestleMania, when Undertaker won, he did not leave on his own power. He was carried out the ring. Triple H was still standing, but Undertaker could not move because Triple H gave him a beating so much. So this was a very, very good match. I like this match a lot, even though I was not really feeling this WrestleMania 27 that year. It's the same year The Miz main evented, and it was a disaster. Where Rock hosted, again, a disaster. This is one of the worst WrestleManias I've ever seen. I did not like this WrestleMania. Same WrestleMania had that Michael Cole, the announcer, was in a match. And Snooki from Jersey Shore had a match. This WrestleMania was horrible, but this was one of the best matches of the night. It could have been worse if this match wasn't on the card, but I like this match though. So, good bread. Move on to you.
Yeah, this was a good one. This was one of the best ones of that night. And I disagree with it being the worst. But again, that's what you saw. I seen some worse of WrestleManias. But again, Undertaker, you're not gonna really find too many bad matches unless you go to the one with him and Goldberg. But especially not him and Triple H. That's again another group, another two dudes that have great chemistry with each other. This was around the time when I realized Undertaker might be slowing down, and it might be time to go, or be time to be looking for somebody to take the streak. I remember watching this match, and like you said, Undertaker did not leave on his own will, and I kind of think that wasn't a shoot right there. What they did was they used that to launch the next storyline, the next year's storyline. So but that wasn't set up like that. I think they just was blessed with an opportunity to use that as a storyline.
Good point. I know you've seen more WrestleManias than me, but I would say it's one of the worst WrestleManias. I know it was worse, or I should say one of the worst in the modern day era. But yeah, um, Undertaker was definitely starting to slow down. He really started to slow down, honestly, at the Brock Lesnar match. It really started to show then. And I wonder if that's one of my picks. We'll have to see. If it is, we'll scrap it. But definitely very good match. Now we'll move on to number 6. My number 6 pick for Undertaker streak match will be against Randy Orton. WrestleMania 21. The streak extends to 13-0. This is also a great storyline behind this, as this was the first time the streak was acknowledged. This was back in 2005. And Randy Orton, he did a segment with the now late Billy Graham that's passed away. He said, you need to do something at WrestleMania no one has ever done. And he saw a magazine of The Undertaker. And he saw him a challenge for the streak and tried to be in WrestleMania. He played mind games for Undertaker, and reports for some that don't know backstage, Randy Orton was the first person considered to beat the streak. As Randy Orton said, he had too much respect for Undertaker. He wasn't going to do it. I know if Randy Orton had beat this streak, it would have definitely put Randy Orton to superstar, megastar status. Because Randy Orton was already good, great, on his way to becoming great at the time. This is way before the Viper days. He beat that streak. It would have put him even bigger star than John Cena. Man, bigger than Cena was. But this would have been definitely something else if he had beat the streak. Randy Orton is gifty talented, one of my favorite superstars of all time, as well as The Undertaker. You guys check out my top 10 wrestlers of all time. But this was a great match. I like the spot where this match is mostly known for when Undertaker put Orton in chokeslam, reversed to an RKO. He thought he would have beat it. And this is the first WrestleMania I saw where Undertaker almost had Tombstone done on him, but Orton set it up, but Undertaker reversed it. Or that's the first time I saw someone attempt to try to put Undertaker in Tombstone. But Randy Orton, he brought it because he was only 25 at the time. He was only 25, and for him to go toe-to-toe with a legend like Undertaker and could have beat the streak, definitely it would help his career. Not that he needed any help, but if he was going to be a megastar, this would have been the moment for Randy Orton. And I like this match a lot. These guys had a long history after it. They had a match at SummerSlam, Armageddon, everything. His dad was involved later on. So this was a very, very good match at WrestleMania. And it definitely could have put Randy Orton over, but I know he didn't want to beat the streak. I would not be mad if he beat the streak. It would have been perfect, actually, because he was the legend killer gimmick. What better to complete the legend killer gimmick than defeating the legend Undertaker at WrestleMania in his streak? It would have put him over big time. So anytime him and Undertaker got in the ring together was magic. He's gonna get talked about enough as underrated feud. But I would send to you, Good Bread.
Again, you said it. You said enough. I'm not even going to go over and double speak over what you said. You said everything. You're absolutely correct. Some people need the streak, but to me, Randy Orton never needed to beat the streak, but he would have been another one of those guys where it would have been fitting. It would have been fitting for him to take the streak, and he would have been able to use it to propel him even higher than where he is now. But the Undertaker is the Undertaker for a reason, man. Will not be no one ever greater.
Well said. For you guys in from Rumble and Facebook, like, hit the like, share, subscribe. Give you a good list here. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button. It's real easy and real quick. With that being
Yeah,
said,
it's free, guys. The like button free, guys. Y'all know.
Yeah, let's get some likes in here. With that being said, we're gonna move on to the fifth pick. It's gonna be the top 5 now. So we'll go number 5, lucky 5. See what it is. Now these are gonna be my very premier picks due to storyline, match, everything. Now number 5 match is Undertaker versus Edge, WrestleMania 24. This is for the World Heavyweight Championship. The streak stands to 16-0. Now, as I stated earlier with Batista, after that rival was done, Undertaker also had a rival with Edge. It started when Edge cashed in a money bank contract. He moved SmackDown from Raw. He cashed Undertaker for his first ever World Heavyweight Championship run. I know Undertaker was storyline injured. That's why Edge won the belt from him. He had a nagging injury. And Edge himself had an injury. He didn't hold on the belt that long for that first championship run for World Heavyweight Champion. It was pretty much a back and forth on thing. Edge was really getting on Undertaker's skin. He was always interfering or getting Undertaker's way. Especially at Survivor Series 2007, it was Undertaker versus Batista for a Hell in a Cell match, and Edge, who came back from some injuries I mentioned, he attacked the cameraman. He hit got in the cell, hit Undertaker with the chair, and Batista was able to win the match. And it's really kicked off their feud. That late in that year, I think they had triple threat: Edge, Batista, Undertaker. And Edge won the triple threat, became world champion, and that year, Undertaker won the right to face Edge for the world title at WrestleMania, and they had a great story. Um, Reports have said, similar to Randy Orton, that I just heard this maybe almost a year ago now, that Edge was supposed to also defeat the streak. And Edge is like Orton, said he had too much respect for Undertaker. He said no, he declined to end the streak. So they had a great match. These guys were going back and forth. I like how Edge hit the spear on Undertaker. He made it seem like he could beat the streak. Very believable. Edge was starting to come into his own as a main event guy. So when he did that, he made sure he could do whatever tactics he could use to beat the Undertaker. But Undertaker prevailed and ended up beating Edge. And this was the first WrestleMania where Undertaker defeated an opponent using the Hell's Gate submission move. And he, for the second year in a row, right after Batista, he won the world title at WrestleMania. So, like I said, this was a very, very good rivalry. Edge and Undertaker had great chemistry. Especially loved a SummerSlam Hell in a Cell match that year. And I mentioned that 2 weeks ago for my top Hell in a Cell matches. You guys want to check that out. But Edge and Undertaker, it was a very good match. I like how these guys kept up with each other because Edge's a big guy too. He's 6'5", 220, 230. So this was a very good rivalry. This was definitely a great WrestleMania match. So I'll go to you, Good Bread.
Oh, well, this is one of my favorite rivalries, Edge versus The Undertaker. Definitely one of the dopest rivalries I ever seen. I told you I was picking this one of their matches for the Hell in a Cell. I thought they was gonna be number one, but I love their chemistry together. I love the characters. Edge, that little bastardly heel, you know what I mean? And Undertaker more so on the side of righteousness and what's right, and you know what I mean. Great makes for great TV, like I said, man. Great stuff. But I couldn't see Edge beating the streak though. I couldn't see Edge beating the streak. Like I said, Edge is Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yes, Edge is he definitely kicked off the Money in the Bank. He was an inaugural winner. That was last week actually. We had the Money in the Bank contract cash ins.
Yeet.
Definitely a good match. And we're gonna move on to number 4. So number 4 of the Undertaker Streak matches will be against Brock Lesnar. This was at WrestleMania 30, 30th anniversary of WrestleMania. This is when Undertaker's streak was broken by Brock Lesnar. I remember this WrestleMania like it was yesterday. So many people were pissed off that Brock Lesnar broke the streak. I was pretty much neutral on it because I like Brock Lesnar. Now, did he need to win and end this streak from the Undertaker? No, he did not. He already has established name. At this point, Brock Lesnar was not only Brock Lesnar, but when he came back this time, he was a former UFC champion. He had MMA background now, so he did not need to beat this streak. But this is the WrestleMania where Brock Lesnar did 3 F5s on the Undertaker, dropped him on his head literally, and when he did defeat him, Undertaker in real life, that storyline, he left WrestleMania, go to the hospital. He had a concussion. It was not storyline, not scripted. He left, and even Vince McMahon himself left the WrestleMania event to go see the Undertaker. And many fans, and even myself, thought that this was Undertaker's last match at that time because this match was good storyline wise, because they had a few later on at SummerSlam the following year, 2015. Undertaker was here for a little bit, but I did not like the whole match itself. Undertaker was slowing down at this point, so I started to see like Asian Father Times catching up with the Undertaker, and Brock Lesnar. He's Brock Lesnar. But this was not one of my. It was good storyline wise because so much history with Brock Lesnar Undertaker, but Undertaker was slowing down at this point. But this had to be in the top 5 because it was broken. No one ever beat the streak, and he was the guy. If you guys remember Michael Cole, when he pinned him, he said the streak is over. It was like a shock. Normally, if you look at the WrestleMania matches, Michael Cole be like, streak over, streak over, streak over, enthusiasm. And Michael Cole's like, the streak is over. Like, it really is over now. But I heard that Brock Lesnar was not supposed to beat the streak. I heard some stories about it. He wasn't supposed to do it. Brock Lesnar took what was his, and Vince McMahon made a last-minute decision. I've heard many things, about this streak, but it was known for the shock of the streak being broken. It was also the first WrestleMania to be on WWE Network. It's 2014. Same WrestleMania Daniel Bryan had, won the belt, but this was not the best in-ring match. Best is a good story because he broke it, but Undertaker was definitely slowing down. I think he just sat in that ring, and there were even interviews that Undertaker said that he don't even remember what happened as far as that match because he had a concussion. So that being said, we'll move on to Good Bread.
I get exactly why this match is on the list, and it definitely deserves to be on the list. And it's just sad, guys, because again, there's so many rumors about this match. The one that I heard was, they set this match up a year earlier with UFC. You know what I mean? So Undertaker was sacrificed. He was a sacrificial lamb. The Undertaker and the Streak, because they set this up earlier. Remember when Brock Lesnar have fought in UFC, and then like as he was on his way out, leaving the ring, Undertaker was in the audience, and him and Undertaker had words. And next thing you know, next year WrestleMania is them two, and Brock is beating the Streak. So it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Something funny about that, but again, that was the worst decision in the history. One of the worst decisions. That's going to be a great list right there. One of the worst storyline decisions ever, if you ask me. Like, Brock Lesnar did not need to beat the Undertaker. We could have gave that to so many different people. It would have made Roman's defeat of the Undertaker much more cherishable, much more monumental.
Yes, I agree. He did not need to beat the streak. Like I said, he was already established. It didn't make any sense for him to beat the streak. It was, Brock Lesnar was good. So that wasn't cool for him to beat the streak, but they did what they had to do. They thought the best thing for business. So what can you do at this point, But like you
Seriously,
said,
like this was an instant meme. Remember you mentioned this on another one of your top 10 lists with the Miz girl, the Miz fan. This was
yeah,
another one, the guy with the crazy eyes, crazy eyes fan. This was
yeah,
another
that's
one of
right.
those memes. Word.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, it definitely was. I don't get it why they have them do that, but they're gonna do what they gotta do for business. And Vince McMahon, he gonna do whatever Brock Lesnar wants because that's his boy. So, but yeah, they did have the UFC meetup. That's very true. I do remember that. But he, of all people, like you said, good Brad agree. Roman Reigns or anybody, Roman Reigns should be street more than anybody else. He was perfect. But we're gonna go into number 3. And number 3 pick for the streak match will be Undertaker versus Triple H, WrestleMania 28, Hell in a Cell match. The streak extends to 20-0. This is a part of that 4-year storyline I mentioned of Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Undertaker. This is the last of that 4-year. We had this match 2 weeks ago. It's my favorite Hell in a Cell, my best Hell in a Cell match, one of my favorite Hell in a Cell match. This is from the previous year, like I stated, when Undertaker Triple H had a lot of offense on Undertaker, beat him down, left him in the middle of the ring, and leave on his own power. Undertaker came back, had cut his hair, saying he wanted to face Triple H. Triple H now in the corporate position he's in now, the COO storyline, so I'm not going to do it. And Undertaker go to him saying you can't do what Shawn Michaels do because Shawn Michaels was always better than you. And I pissed Triple H off. He said, we're going to have a match, but it's going to be Hell in a Cell. It was supposed to also mark the end of an era. And later on, before the match, officially was announced, they made one little change, and it was Shawn Michaels, now a Hall of Famer and retired superstar, was the special guest referee. So they had a great match. This is, man, there's just no words can say how it was. Last year, Triple H beat up Undertaker. This year, Triple H got beat up by Undertaker, beat up Triple H. Triple H beat Undertaker previous year. Undertaker beat Triple H this year. Great spots. Shawn Michaels got involved. Undertaker thought that Shawn Michaels was going to call a match. He put Shawn Michaels in Hell's Gate. Triple H hit him with a sledgehammer. Then Shawn Michaels retaliated by doing super kick combination pedigree. You would have thought the streak was. I actually thought the streak was going to be over, and it wasn't. And he just gave it to Triple H like, "Hey, you got me last year. I got you this year." And I like one promo that Undertaker called Shawn Michaels. He said, "Since you're a special guest referee, this match needs to be pure. You better call straight down the middle. If not, it's going to be hell to pay." I like how he told Shawn Michaels that. But Shawn Michaels, he's known for doing special guest refereeing, screwing people over. Everyone knows that about HBK. But these guys brought it. Like, I like it. I like the whole match. One of my favorite Hell in a Cell match. And this was a great one. It's in my top 3.
I agree with that, bro. I agree with that. Definitely one of the top matches right there. I ain't even got nothing else to add to that one.
Okay, with that being said, we're going to move on to number 2. My second, the Undertaker Streak match that I did like, that's at my number 2 pick, will be Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25. The streak extends to 17-0. Now, Shawn Michaels fresh off the storyline with JBL, where he defeated JBL with the whole Shawn Michaels broke thing, whatever. And Undertaker needed an opponent for WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels won the right to face Undertaker. They had a great rivalry, a great match. Shawn Michaels put on, this was like the match of the year, not only the match of the night at WrestleMania, match of the year. The Shawn Michaels, the moonsaults, everything. I like how Undertaker was going to do a spot where he jumps and Shawn Michaels put the cameraman in front of him. For those you don't know, that cameraman that Shawn Michaels pushed, that Undertaker hit, he was the son of Jimmy Snuka. That was his real life son. That was a nod to Jimmy Snuka, which I mentioned in the beginning, Undertaker's very first WrestleMania opponent that he defeated in 1991 at WrestleMania 7. That was his son. That's why Shawn Michaels pushed that cameraman up. It was a nod to his first WrestleMania match. For those who didn't know that, that's a little quick tip there. Also, I said this earlier, you saw shades of a feud of Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker at the Royal Rumble 2007. That said, Undertaker won to face Batista at WrestleMania 23. When Undertaker won that Royal Rumble, the runner-up was Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels going to do a sweep chin. And Undertaker reversed it and flew Shawn Michaels over the top rope, and he won. But if you saw the chemistry in that ring, the way they had a stare down, they would stare at each other, you could tell it's going to be a future feud between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Now, fast forward for WrestleMania 23, we come WrestleMania 25 to have a feud. So that's why I mentioned the Royal Rumble 2007. These guys were going to have a feud at some point. We just didn't know when. But it was a great story. PWI match of the year, 5-star match. And it's set up for the following WrestleMania match, WrestleMania 26, and Shawn Michaels got another opportunity to wrestle Undertaker for the streak. Good bread, on to you.
Definitely. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, man, what can you say? You know what I mean? You add Bret Hart in that, and those guys, they carried the flag into the new era. You know what I mean? When WWE was on its way out, those three was the definites. And
Okay, we're gonna go to number one pick soon. But before we go to number one pick,
you were invested in the character.
yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Um,
We said a lot, man. We said a lot, man. So far, so
yep,
good. So far, been a great list. I'm interested. I'm intrigued with what's going to be number one.
same here. I'm trying to figure out what it is if I can remember. I got
Uh,
it. I got an honorable mention though. We have an honorable mention. This match is going to be mentioned, and it's going to be Undertaker versus Ric Flair, WrestleMania 18. The streak extends to 10-0, and this started from when Ric Flair attacked Undertaker at the No Way Out pay-per-view when he faced The Rock. He set up for that feud, and Undertaker attacked David Flair, Ric Flair's son. He attacked his friend Art Anderson, and Undertaker kept saying, "You gonna face me, Ric Flair, WrestleMania?" And Ric Flair kept saying no. He kept attacking everyone that was close to him. And Ric Flair, went off saying, "You know what? I'm gonna fight you at Mania." Now Ric Flair was the storyline co-owner of the WWF at the time, and they had a board meeting, and I think they told him, if you continue on the match with Undertaker, you can't be co-owner no more. You have to be a regular wrestler full time. And storyline, that's how he got out of that co-owner position. They had a great story. I heard reports that Undertaker wants to wrestle Ric Flair. He requested him to wrestle at WrestleMania, and these guys went at it. They just had a great, great, great story. And Ric Flair, he had been in his mid 50s at this point. He still could go in the ring. And Undertaker was still in good shape. And I like the spot where Art Anderson came in, did a little spine bust on Undertaker and run off about his business. But this was a great match. And, Undertaker, did a Tombstone Power Driver. But I like this one. I really do like this match. And it has to throw it in there. And this is when Undertaker count his fingers. It was his first double-digit victory. He did the 10 in the air, boom, and that was it. But I like this one. This was a very, very good one. Um, I, I I think it was a great decision to have them wrestle. I know Undertaker. This wasn't about no streak at the time. Yeah, I remember at the time streak wasn't a thing yet, but to have a legend and on the way to be legend wrestle each other, it was great. It was a great, great match. Bill Brady, you want to put your input on this one?
absolutely. And only thing you did not mention, is Ric Flair was the reason why the Undertaker won his first WWE Championship. So this was fitting that he requested
Yeah,
to
you're
face
right.
Ric Flair at WrestleMania, because Ric Flair helped him beat Hulk Hogan. He put that chair down, slid that chair down in that ring at the Survivor Series, and Undertaker tombstone Hogan to win his first championship. Even though the title was stripped from him, and within that same week, you know what I mean? He did win. It is counted as a victory, as a championship reign for The Undertaker. So, and that was due to Ric Flair help. So it was fitting, bro. It was fitting. And I liked the match. This was a great match. This was one of the last matches like Ric Flair had that was like old school Ric Flair. You know what I mean? Before he really started to like own it in and shit. But this is a good one.
Woo! Yeah, it was. Um, I forgot about that. Yes, he did help Undertaker win his first championship, and he had stripped at. You mean was it Tuesday, Texas? some Tuesday event. It was 6 days later. I think it's called Tuesday, Texas Tuesday event.
Yeah, you said it right. Tuesday in Texas.
Yeah, due to Hulk Hogan's politics, claiming Undertaker broke his neck with Tombstone. It's a whole nother story for another day. But yeah, it was a great match. For those you don't know, when we do a number one pick over here, we will discuss the number one pick. And always the number one pick we will do.
You just made the list.
To Rumble to play the match of that number one pick on Rumble. So, with that being said, Rumble will be a spot for that. We will be in a stream shortly on here and Facebook. If you want guys come from Facebook and here, come to Rumble soon. And we'll continue over there. Hit the like button, get that going. But I will discuss the number one pick right.
So yes, you check the Rumble red carpet ring. I do have the match played for, I believe, the best Undertaker streak match. So check that out over there. But other than that, we're gonna get into number one. We're gonna see who made this list. Had an honorable mention. Already went through 9 other streak matches. Great legendary match. But let's get to number one. You guys keep the likes up in here. Let's get the likes up, guys. Let's do that.
Right now. And the number one pick is number one pick. What is it? What is that number one pick? Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 26. Streak versus career. The streak extends to 18-0. Not only is the streak extended, Shawn Michaels' wrestling career is over. This is why this is my number one pick. This was a part of a 4-year storyline between Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Undertaker, and ended at Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania 28. This is a continuation of that. This was a very, very good match. This and WrestleMania 25 were very hard to choose. I will admit that. And it was hard because I had to put this over because Shawn Michaels' career was on the line. I really wanted to do WrestleMania 25 for number one, but because his career was online and they put on a great show here, it was definitely a great match. I liked how Shawn Michaels mocked the Undertaker. He knew he knew it was over. Shawn Michaels was about to lose, and Undertaker tombstone the hell out of him once he mocked him and slapped him, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. Shawn Michaels' career is over. As you can see in this photo, they shook hands, and that was it. Now, Shawn Michaels, yeah, he did come back later on. Crown Jewel had that horrendous tag team match against Kane and Undertaker Brothers Destruction against DX. We had that horrible. I like to call it we'll call it pretty much a wheelchair / senior care living match. These were 4 old men beaten and battered. No, they should have been in the ring. It was just horrible. It was literally, it was a senior old folks home match. That Crown Jewel 2018 was horrible. And reportedly, Shawn Michaels got paid $1 million for that match. That's why he came out of retirement to do that tag match. And he was not the Shawn Michaels of old. He was way past his prime. He definitely lost a step in there. But other than that, this was my number one pick. Shawn Michaels wanted to face the Undertaker again. Undertaker said no. And Undertaker was the World Heavyweight Champion. And an Elimination Chamber match pay-per-view before WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels cost the Undertaker the World Heavyweight Championship, and Chris Jericho was allowed to pin the Undertaker and win the World Heavyweight Champion. And Undertaker said, "You know what? I'll fight you now, but one condition: you got to put your career on the line." And Shawn Michaels told Undertaker, which was so so much respect on his name. He said, if I can't beat you at WrestleMania, I don't deserve to have a career. And I thought that was a ball move by Shawn Michaels. And and I like how they made Shawn Michaels look all obsessed with the streak. He was going crazy. He couldn't win the Royal Rumble. He was super kicking referees. He sort of got suspended. He was in fair his DX with Triple H. Triple H was like, what's wrong with you? It's like, you're obsessed with this streak. Calm down. And Shawn Michaels was like, no, I have to beat the streak. So I like how they played that into this as well. It was a great, great, great storyline. And this is my favorite streak match. So good bread on to you.
Man, I'm ready to get to Rumble, man. Let's get ready to Rumble, man. Word. Let's get ready to Rumble.
Well, with that being said, we're going to end stream here momentarily, and also on Facebook. We're going to end over there.
So that is the list, guys. We got the top ranked Undertaker streak matches. What did you guys think of that top list? Man, some legendary matches. I know some people thought that the Undertaker versus Triple H at WrestleMania 28, Hell in a Cell would be number one. You know, some people had the first Shawn Michaels and Undertaker for number one, or even Edge versus Undertaker for number one. But it came down to, yes, WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 26, guys. Very good way of streak. Like I said, streak has so many matches. Not all can make the list. And Undertaker, we know, has been, like I said, this is something that will be talked about in wrestling forever. When we talk about the streak, it's always normally discussed around WrestleMania season because it was always at a WrestleMania match. But remember, if you guys remember in WWE 2K14, that's when they had a Undertaker break the streak match, and that was on, I'm sorry, WWE maybe 13 or 14. I forgot what year it was, but you know that's the whole scenario behind that. But I will say a few things about the streak. Um, the streak, I thought it would have been some things I did not agree with, as I stated earlier. I remember, like I said, there was some. I know a lot of people, like I said, were upset the day the streak was over. You know, I felt away too. You know, I know they have to sell the network and everything, but this was a very important and monumental day, as well as people liked it or not. It was the end of that as far as that goes, and that was this day right here, guys. It was the end of the streak, April 6th, 2014, exactly 10 years ago, and this was done. It's the crazy thing about it. Um, so, like I said, we saw the fans, we saw the shock, we saw it all that time. Now, I will say Stain was another one I was expecting to see. We didn't get that. We didn't get that at all. And then what was so wild about it as well, Undertaker, he did want other people to end the streak whose names was not named Brock Lesnar. If you guys remember, he had two people in mind. Well, not him, but him and other people in the wrestling industry. A lot of people did not agree with the Brock Lesnar move in another streak. So, and this is just more recent, but we'll talk about that right now. And this are people who could have ended the streak. And when we think of that, there are a couple names that pop up. I know one name that did pop up, and I agree with this move, could have been the late Bray Wyatt. Now, this is a pull quote, and this is from DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. He said, and I quote, I always thought Bray should have had beat Taker and become the next Taker. I thought that this was the year after the streak ended. I agree. Good point with that. It definitely could have made a big impact for his career, but unfortunately, it didn't go down like that. Bray Wyatt, he fell off. Then the Fiend character, and then it's crazy. He's passed away now. Don't even seem like it, but he's not here with us anymore. But I always thought that Bray Wyatt could have been one guy to end the streak. He could have been one guy to end it. It would have been amazing. Another person could have helped. Before I know he's mega star now, especially his return at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns, he was another guy, and this was Undertaker, I think, saying this too. This full quote said Roman definitely that was the right call. I wish he may have been the first to defeat Undertaker other than Brock Lesnar. He'd be the first in the streak. He said if Roman would have been able to do it, I think it would have increased the value. And with that, he got a point. And that right there is not just any statement. That right there makes sense. It hits home and definitely deserves a little yeet moment right there.
Yeet.
So I agree with that move. It definitely should have been Roman Reigns to end that streak. Because instead of the whole tribal chief thing, this would have took his career off. And it didn't happen that way. I wish it would have, because like I said, it'd been a very big deal for him. That would have been a major move if they had done that prior. Very major move for him. I don't know why they didn't go with that decision. But you gotta remember, it was Vince McMahon running the show back then. So, what do you expect, right? What do you expect? So, but I thought that would have been a great move. I thought that really would have helped him out. But I guess they say we can't always get what we want. But let's see what you guys think here in the ring. Butera Dutour Daniel said Undertaker versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels special guest referees, the best match ever. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones too. I think I had it number 3. Ernest said, who you think will win in a dream match? American Badass Undertaker versus Silver Sting. Oh, I got Undertaker all day. If you ask me, that's Undertaker. Undertaker got that down patted. Undertaker will win that match. And we never got that at WrestleMania. I just mentioned that a couple minutes ago. We never ever got the Undertaker versus Sting. By the time Sting did come over, it was too late. Undertaker already was in a program with Brock Lesnar. It didn't go down for for that reason. Other stuff going on. And Sting just jumped on way too late to make the switch over from, I think he was in TNA all the way to WWE, because he was WCW. Then it was bought out with the merger with WWE purchasing WCW. Then later on, Sting jumped to TNA. He should have jumped to WWE. But I know he was skeptical how old WCW wrestlers treated, but he still made the jump. It was just too late at that point. And like, great to cheer Sting. No big deal to us anymore. Sucks, but at least that's how I felt. But here talking about the Undertaker Street, guys. Oh man, it's a great, amazing list. Great list of Undertaker, legendary man. He has a great podcast today. But other than that, guys, I mean, there's nothing else needs to be said. We are here talking about top ranked Undertaker streak matches, the top Undertaker streak matches. We got the top ranked ones, so that's what we got. Ernest said Magic Darby Allin versus Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker. That'd be so good. WrestleMania in their prime. Darby Allin versus Bray and Undertaker. It'd be interesting. Be very interesting. I would say, if anything, Darby Allin versus Mick Foley, due to their similar styles. I would say Darby Allin versus Mick Foley, and then Bray versus Undertaker. So that would be, or maybe if you could add Bray versus Undertaker and maybe versus a Mick Foley. Yeah, I would add Mick Foley to that match. Keep Darby versus Bray and Undertaker. I would keep add Mick Foley to that. But other than that, though, guys, that's all I have regarding street matches. Thank you all for coming out. Soon, check out 2 videos for Red Carpet Rain on YouTube. Click into the 2 videos below. You guys already know what it is. Into, other than that, though, let's keep an eye out for the tournament. Got that tournament coming up, guys. We almost in the final rounds of that. Let's keep that going too. Let's keep that going too. What'd you say, Ernest? John Moxley versus Terry Funk would be very interesting. Yeah, it would be. That would be an interesting match. We actually want to see a John Moxley versus Mick Foley, but Mick Foley wasn't medically cleared, so we never got that match. Yeah, but Mox versus Funk, yeah, that would be something too. So yeah, but other than that, though, you guys keep out for the voting. We are down to the final 4 right now. The championship round will probably be the next couple of days, and it's going to be 2: one for Red Carpet Rain, one for Toss Ring Scandal. Cash your votes in. Cast those votes in. You don't want to miss out on it. And we're going to vote for who is the best SummerSlam of all time. You don't want to miss it. I will do a live stream on it. So let's keep that in mind as well. Definitely want to keep that in mind. But other than that, though, we here talking about Undertaker. We talking about the legendary streak, 21-0 before the streak was broken. I think his overall record is 25-2. But that's all I have, guys. Click the 2 videos below for Red Carpet Rain of wrestling content. Check that out. You guys let me know you think a streak of best match in the live chat and on the playback in the comments below. You guys already know what it is. It's OUNT.
Something happened this weekend, and I've been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.